Yadadai, dadai, yadadai, dadai, yadadai, 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 yadadai. Rabbi Shlomo Carlebach, out of the fires of the Shoah as they were cooling, taught us the Krakow Nigun, commemorating the 6 million Jews lost. Yadadai, 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 yadadai. But he said, you can't have just pain. You have to have hope. You must allow despair to move into hope and healing and joy. Yadadai, 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 yadadai. Yai dai da dai dai, yai dai da dai dai, yai dai da dai dai dai, yai dai ya da dai dai, yai dai da dai dai, yai dai da dai dai, yai dai da dai dai dai, yai dai ya da dai dai, yai dai 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 ya da dai dai, oh yai dai da dai dai dai, oh yai dai ya dai dai dai. Oh, yai dai da dai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai da dai. Join me. Yai dai da dai dai, yai dai da dai dai dai, yai dai ya da dai dai, yai dai da dai dai, yai dai da dai dai, yai dai da dai dai dai, yai dai da dai 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 da dai dai dai. Oh, yai dai da dai dai dai. Oh, yai dai da dai dai dai. Oh, yai dai da dai dai dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai da dai dai. Yai dai da dai dai. Yai dai da dai dai dai. Yai dai da dai dai. Yai dai da dai dai, yai dai da dai dai, yai dai da dai dai dai, yai dai ya da dai, yai.
Thank you so much. I felt my heart opening. So thank you for being here this afternoon. Each program that we have throughout this period of time, each program is unique, and so this program will be unique also. And I'm just going to tell you just a little bit, and then we're just going to move right into it. So Alicia Stillman is the Cantor at Temple Israel in Boston, and she has extraordinary repertoire of music and voice and sound and thinking, feeling. We are going to also hear from Anabel Gil Diaz, who will be playing the black flute, which is a Native American instrument. And then we are in an original composition called Earth Soul. Then we're going to unfurl the mourning shroud, and just to mention that this idea of the mourning shroud has been sort of in incubation for more than a year, but I found three wonderful artists. In fact, all of the artists that are working on this project are from Mass Art, which is great. So Ed Moulaf and Jennifer Varekamp and Emily Moughan have all been working together. So this mourning shroud, is a collaboration, and it will look like that, it will feel like that, and this is our first phase of what this looks like. We're going to unfurl that. We are going to then hear from the descendants. We're going to speak the names of murdered relatives at the camp. Oliver Egger, who's the great-great-grandson of Fernald, Walter E. Fernald, from the Fernald State Hospital, that was named after him, will be also speaking. And this is part of this larger concept of working in Waltham, growing up in Waltham, and there are Waltham students that I went to high school with that are here, which is wonderful. So we all carry this history, but currently there is an unmarked grave in Waltham that belongs to the school. And so that is part of the reason why he's here to speak, and he's a poet, so he will be reading from his poetry. And then we're going to do something that is more interactive, and we'll just let that happen. But you have cards in front of you, and there'll be pencils that will be given out, and it will be something that we'll invite you to do with us. So look at the cards and think about the questions on the back, and maybe even write down a note. And then we're going to, Rabbi Benjamin Chaidell is going to say Kaddish, and then we're going to have an outdoor procession with the morning shroud. And the descendants will lead that, but then we want everyone to join us and to help carry the shroud out into the light of day so that it comes out of the hiddenness of the hidden quality of this room and really receives public attention. And we will walk through the walkways outside. We'll do a ritual with Jungfernhof, dirt from Jungfernhof that Ilya brought with him here. And then we'll come back here, roll up the mourning shroud, and then be ready for our next program. Does that sound something like we can all do? Okay, good. So, Anabel.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, okay. Serves opportunity. Yes, they're all there. Yes.
You know, yeah.
Oh, it's on. Yeah, can I take them now? No, that's because she's just fine. So this is just the victims. Oh, okay. So I don't know what kind she is. Okay. I'm sorry. I am a kindergartner. Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah. Great. But this is a draft? Yeah. This is on plastic. Oh, okay. So it is spectacular now. Is there? There's a time to fix that. Okay. It's really beautiful. It's just.
Yeah, but it's going to be even more beautiful.
Oh, that's good to know. Okay. So, I don't even know this. I don't know what this is. And this is, we are partners like this, Paul, because he doesn't know this either. We don't know that age. You worked on this? Yes. It's amazing. Look how powerful it is.
What did you do?
I designed this digital patch and we
I thought you were so happy with it. Got it. I thought you were going to say, oh my God, they didn't get it.
What are we preparing to do right now? You have the mic.
Cheryl is blind.
Okay, this is a spectacular thing to experience. My name is Trish Anastos and Steve Frankel, where are you? Hi, here's, and Fred Zimmak. We are representing this group that Karen has referred to. We are either descendants of survivors or victims who were deported to Camp Jungfernhof outside of Riga in 41. And Karen Frostig brilliantly started this group in late 21. At that time, There were 7 survivors, and now we have 4, which is an absolute blessing to have them in our group, and they speak and contribute, and it adds so much. Today, you likely heard Pete Stern talk in person, which was a gift. And we also had 2 survivors speak by video. This day of remembrance is so important for us because we see each other on Zoom. Technology is a gift to be connected, but to see each other and hear each other's stories in person has just added this very rich gift to us. So we're so grateful to Brandeis and all of the people who've made this happen. And we've traveled, some people live in Waltham and Needham, and I'm from California, I'm here with my husband David, and Fred came from Germany. So there was a lot of commitment to show up. We represent a collective voice. We have a mission to preserve memories of our family, and oh my gosh, is this not a powerful way to do it? And to honor the 3,985 victims, as well as the sanctity of the site where it happened. In our monthly discussions, we honor living survivors, we share testimonies and stories, and we bear witness to the past. And I'd like to just give credit to Pete, who helped me crystallize something. We are not only anchored in the past, we use this group to forge our future. We are learning as a beacon, as he said, as a light to aim our focus. We are learning how to talk about our experience as the next generation. What does that mean today to be a descendant of a survivor of a victim? We are seeking connection with others who share ancestral histories at Jungfernhof. We're looking for missing details. What happened to them? What motivated them? What brought them together? What split them apart? And to that end, Fred Zimmak, right here, deserves special recognition because he has done so much research and has been able to fill in the missing patches for people. We are also finding the courage to speak up about our beliefs and act accordingly and support others who do that. So while we share this common bond, we are very diverse. We live in 7 countries, about a dozen US states, and we're wide range. We have 20-somethings to 90-somethings. Even our religious beliefs are varied. Some of us, including me, we were not raised as Jews. Some of us are Christians, Protestants, other faiths, some are agnostic, atheist, all of them, and yet we are a group. Like all concentration camps, Jungfernhof has its own uniqueness, but like many others, it's not very well known and almost forgotten. There's no physical evidence of the camp. Remnants of buildings were restored to reference the manor, but not the camp. There's substantive evidence of a mass grave at the former site, and that's supported by active testimony from survivors. So there's a goal to create a memorial for German and Austrian Jews at the site. Karen has created the Locker of Memory, the website where you can find her research, survivor interviews, which are so powerful, and creation of videos that captures the history of the victims and their journeys. And you saw that powerful, if you were here last night for the candlelight ceremony, all the pictures with the names. We're so grateful to her for her commitment to bring us together as a group, create this platform to communicate our history, as well as her dedication to create a memorial for the site. And we're just glad to be here with you and to come together in person. It's really powerful. So each of us, there's about 20 of us here, and we're going to introduce ourselves and just say the names of the person who was associated with the camp. So I'll start. My name is Patricia Anastos, and my mother, Honey Oppenheim, was a survivor. She's one of the 149, and her sister Ilsa Oppenheim, and their parents, Moritz and Sophie Oppenheim. So Paul.
My name is Paul Roth. My father emigrated to this country. He left the continent of Europe 6 weeks before the war began, after which it would have been much more difficult for him to get out. His mother was Hedwig E. Grunthal, and her name's on here, along with her husband, Albert Grunthal. This was her second husband. Her first husband was killed in the First World War.
I'm Karen Frostig. I'm remembering my grandmother, Bela Samueli Frostig.
I'm Cameron Levinson. I'm remembering my great-grandfather, Moses Frostig.
I'm Steve Frankel. I'm remembering my grandfather, Abraham Wolf Frankel, who was, he had already seen the rest of his family to safety, but unfortunately, he got sent to Jungfernhof and then selected for Salaspils, where he was killed.
I'm Steve Miller, and my father was smuggled out of Germany 2 days before the war started by his father, and the rest of his family got stuck in Nuremberg and ended up being sent to Riga. So I'm here for his grandmother, Clara Jungster, and his parents, my grandparents, Sebald Müller, Laura Müller, and his sister Susanna, who are all listed here on the shroud.
My name is Myrna Haas. Fortunately, my husband, Ernst Haas, is not on there because 4 years later, he was the only one of his family who survived. The others are on there, unfortunately, and the next generation would like to say their names, because if you don't remember their name, it's as if they died a second time.
My name is Michael Haas, and my aunt Ilse Margot Haas is on the list.
My name's Gail Haas. I'm Michael's wife, and his grandmother, Friedel Steinberger Haas, is on the list.
My name is Edie, and Semi Haas is my great-great-grandfather.
My name is Jacqueline Levine, and my grandparents, Max Königsberg and Rosa Königsberg, are there on that. And my mother and her sister was on the Kindertransport from Vienna to England. And I'm so honored that they're on this and remembered. Thank you.
My name's Eileen Loeb, and my great-grandparents, my dad's grandparents and uncle were on there. So it's Ignaz Carniol, Evelyn Rivka Carniol, and Max Carniol.
My name is Seth Nemiroff. My great-grandmother, Marguerite Wartowski, is on the list here.
My name is Fred Zimmak, and my father was Leonard Zimmak, a survivor of Jungfernhof. Together with Trish's mother, he was rescued to Sweden, but not his wife, Else Zimmak, his son, Dennis Zimmak, my half-brother, not his parents, Helene Zimmak, Otto Zimmak, his uncle Albert Rosenberg, his wife Berta Rosenberg, an aunt Berta Wartelski, connected to Seth, some distant relative, Clara Liljeherskil, Regina Simpson, Frida Himmelstern, Franziska Landau.
I'm Karen Syme. I'm here for my great-great-aunt from Hamburg. Her name was Harriet Hyman Pizer.
My name is Peter Stern, and I am one of the 149 who was there and was able to leave.
I'm Alan Stern. I'm here to honor the memory of my grandparents, Arthur and Carolina Stern, and my father, Samuel Stern.
My name is Pat Herbst. My father was 3 when he was able to leave Germany with his parents and his brother, but 4 of their relatives were killed in Humpfernhof, including my great-grandparents Ida Kohn and Sigmund Kohn, and my great-aunt Elsa Zimmak, that's how I'm related to Fred, and her baby Denny from Hamburg.
My name is Karen Komar. I was born in Hamburg and arrived in New York, in the US in '41, but the relatives that were left behind, there were 2, Beatrice Levy and Martha Levy here at Jungfernhof. My grandfather perished in Minsk. My great aunt and uncle perished in Lodz. And through my research, I realized that I had 44 family members from Germany and from Upper Silesia who perished, 44.
My name is Peter Schuntermann. I mentioned Edith and Vogelhardt, her son Ben and Joseph Vogelhardt. They did not die here, they died in Treblinka.
Did everybody? Thank you. Say the 2 names. Remember.
Sorry, I forgot 2 names, distant relatives also. Sarah Baer and her son Rudolf Glaser.
I said Michael Haas. I found 2 of my great uncles listed on the list, Jakob and Siegfried Steinberger. They were brothers.
Okay. Has everyone from our group? Okay, Karen.
So we're going to roll that up.
Hello, everybody. I'm Oliver Edgar. Thank you all for having me today and for letting me share this moment with you all. I'm the great-great-grandson of Walter Fernald, who is the 3rd superintendent and namesake of the Fernald School here in Waltham, Massachusetts, which was a mental institution for children just a few miles from where we stand today. The Fernald, which was originally named the Massachusetts School for Idiotic and Feeble-Minded Youth, was the first publicly funded institution for the disabled in the Western Hemisphere. Thousands of children from its inception in 1831 to its closure in 2014 lived and died at the institution. And since its closure, the property has been left to ruins, and confidential documents of former patients have been left to vandalism and theft. Is that how we remember? I am here today as a descendant on one side of a man whose work in the eugenics movement was cited by the Nazis, and on the other side of a man who fled Germany just before the Holocaust and whose entire family was murdered there. I stand between a history of harm and of survival. There is no simple story. It would be easier to ignore, but is that how we remember? Remember the lives lived at the Fernald, those lives full of pain and mistreatment, but also so much more, of resilience, friendship, compassion, and unbelievable strength to survive. Those stories are buried here in Waltham earth, buried in time. Their bones are not far from us. I'm going to read one poem today, and it's about one child. His name was George Toby, and he died in 1871 at the Massachusetts School of Idiotic and Feeble-Minded Youth of South Boston. This was before the school moved to Waltham. This information is all publicly available in trustees' reports, which were annual reports made by the school to the state for funding. George's quotations in the poem are directly from the report, and the title is the name of the report, and then there is a subtitle which is a direct quotation. So I'll start with the title. The title is the 24th Annual Report of the Trustees of the Massachusetts School of Idiotic and Feeble-Minded Youth, October 1871. And this is from the report. The daily morning prayer, the blessings at meals, the evening supplication are not made in vain. These devotional habits do certainly sometimes make deep impressions upon their childish natures and give them some comfort through life and some hope in death. We have striking instances of this. A little boy who lately died became, during his sickness, an object of great interest to the matron, teachers, and attendants, who all became by turns his tender nurses. The approach of death seemed to awaken his spiritual life. Here's the poem. It is not made in vain, the ritual, the morning daily prayer, the blessings at meals, the little ones at night, knees bent by their beds, clasped palms, up and out to him of whom they know nothing. Doubtless there was joy in heaven when George Toby, the little idiot, died. He put up those hands and muttered, "Me wanna go up, me wanna go up," as feathers spread like ash among the 1,000 hands of nurses who wept and prayed and pet the black jet of his hair off the heat of his head. Do our tears take his eyes? Did he just want to be one boy of many? Another gravestone upheaved for the driveway of a new 4-bedroom. Do we not always refuse his permission? The room was filled with onlookers who stared and sweared that out of the decaying body seemed to rise the growing soul, some feathered thing, some untethered tide. As he sighed to some sort of heaven, they'll say, "Here comes one of the boys from the South Boston School for Feeble-Minded." It is not made in vain. Every night, as the little ones kneel by their sheets, they hear something higher and better than men, the wings which rustle in a herd, bound for a nothing, a heaven without tears, where each stone is sunk without a story. Thank you all for having me today. Thank you, Karen, for organizing this. There is a lot of remembrance work to be done on the Fernald. If you're a Brandeis student or you're local, or even if you're coming from across the world, there is a place for you in this as well. Let's preserve the Fernald, let's revive the stories, and let's remember. Thank you all.
Before we move into final prayer, and then we will go outside for a procession, I want to thank everyone that has participated in this part of the ceremony. And I particularly want to thank Emily Moughan, Jennifer Varekamp, and Ed Moulaf, who helped, were instrumental in having this happen, and as we gather and see it and feel it. Oh, we're doing something else. We are doing something else. We are taking the cards that are on your seats and passing around pencils. I'm on the right track, right? Are you? Go ahead. So we're going to take these cards. And these cards actually are a poem that was written by a 20-year-old boy at Jungfernhof to his friend, and it was rescued by his mother. You're actually going to be getting up in a minute because we're doing something else together. So the card is translated on the back of the card, and on the back of the card are some questions. What is truth? What is goodness? What is beauty? So if you could take just a minute to jot down or think of a word, and then we're going to, again, stand up and Alicia will lead us.
I believe, I believe, believe, I believe, believe, I believe, believe in the sun, even when it is not shining. I believe, I believe, believe, I believe, believe, I believe in love, even when feeling it not, even when feeling it not. I believe in God. I believe in God. I believe in God. Even when God is silent, even when God is silent, silent, I believe. This famous poem was found on the walls of a basement in Cologne and was put to music. And you'll hear another iteration of this with many voices by Michael Horvath a little bit later. But I want to just let us dwell for a moment before our final prayer in this card. And I want to offer actually another translation, and I'm moved by the words of Thomas Lutz from this morning, who said, "We tell the stories, and people can think what to do with those stories. We tell the stories, and people think about what to do with them." This birthday poem on the right side, wishes from the heart to your birthday. This is a 20-year-old. I have a 20-year-old. He doesn't think like this, and he doesn't speak like this. Look out for the truth. Love the beauty. Work on the good in yourself. No other lucky thing can happen in all the world for people. What is truth? What is beauty in this space? And what is good?
Well, that was beautiful, Cantor. Thank you so much for sharing that. In just a moment, we will recite together the traditional Jewish prayer of mourning, the Mourner's Kaddish. The Mourner's Kaddish is a fascinating prayer to say after death because, and this ties in so well with the poem and the song that was just shared, there is no personal name of God in the Kaddish. The Kaddish expresses our wish and our commitment to realize God's values and to redeem the world. It is an expression of praise of that which is beautiful and our commitment to make the world even more beautiful. It is an expression of truth, of beauty, and goodness. And it motivates us as we confront loss and death, the fragility of life, to do our absolute best to make the world good, to bring out the goodness in ourselves and out into the wider world as well. And I just want to share in this beautiful memorial to so many of your loved ones, there is green and flowers and trees. There is new growth and new life emerging from the ashes. And that is what this memorial prayer, the Kaddish, calls us to do. So I'll invite us to stand if you are able as we prepare to recite Mourner's Kaddish in honor and in memory of each of those who were lost in Jugendhof, as well as all those whose graves and whose lives are not marked, so that together with this shroud uniting us, so that together we can create that monument, we can make that memory together for those who were lost and honor their lives of infinite value as we stand together and say, Yikadal v'yikadash shmei Rabba, be'alma divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon u'v'yamechon u'v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru amen, yehi shmei Rabba mevarach la'olam u'la'olmei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitormam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudsha brichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Just want to thank so much Dr. Frostig for inviting me into this space, and so many of you whose loved ones are here for sharing this moment together. It is truly an honor. In just a moment, we will carry the shroud and invite up first the descendants of those whose names are here to lead us in a procession. In Jewish tradition, a funeral is called a levaya, which literally means an accompaniment. This is a way that we show respect for someone by sort of accompanying them and escorting them. And we will be offering to all those listed here that dignity and respect of a proper burial, walking with them to their resting place and upholding their lives and their memories together. There are other announcements, so we'll invite those to carry the shroud, and the descendants, if you would come up and lead us in the procession.
We will need many hands.
Yeah.
We did it. So we are going to transition back to our seats and take a break. Do people have words that you wrote in your postcards that you want to share? Does anyone have things to share on your postcards? We're going to roll up the mourning shroud and move the chairs and prepare for our next session. What I also want to do is thank everyone that participated in the ceremony. I think it is clear that memory is not one person, it is a community. And we demonstrated the strength of this community to take this and hold it dear. And the mourning shroud becomes the artifact, the object that we take with us. So we will roll it up. I will pursue this project. We hope to make a final version that we will then develop and bring to Latvia and also have on display in some permanent way. But I guess it's obvious from this ceremony, when we heard from all of the different voices, how important it is to make sure that people do this together. And I think that's kind of the lesson that we're taking from this whole experience. I hate rolling this up. I hate losing it. But we have a lot of pictures. We'll post some pictures online. I don't know, we'll see. I mean, it's not going to be a secret, I can assure you. Yeah, we will do something. And there'll be excellent pictures. We have lots of documentation. So what we're going to do is roll this up. We are actually strangely on time. We're going to roll this up. And I want to thank one more time Ed, Jennifer, and Emily. And I want to just make sure that everyone knows that Emily does wedding dresses during the day and makes mourning shrouds on the weekends. Yes. I don't know. We'll see. Wait 1 second. So as we're rolling this up, and we will go from this to hearing the Descendant video, not the Descendant, the Survivor video, which I will introduce Alan in that way. And then we'll go from that to the scientific research that has to do with the future, how we continue to research this project and document it and move it toward a memorial conclusion. So I thank everyone who worked on the shroud, thank everyone who participated in the ceremony. It was a wonderful, it felt wonderful. If anyone wants to read from their card, you wanted to, was there something you wanted?
Okay, I'll read. What is truth? Actual. What is beauty? Vision. What is good? Virtue.
Thank you.
What is truth? That which resonates within your core. What is beauty? Something that stirs the wonder of life. What is good? Actions born from empathy.
What is truth? Complicated. What is beauty? Heart and love. What is good? Action from the heart.
What is truth? That which clarifies and leads to understanding. Beauty, the reflection of truth. And what is good? How man expresses that truth among others.
What is truth? We know it when we say it. What is beauty? We know it when we see it. What is good? Love.
What is good? A deed. What is beauty? A feeling. What is truth? A question.
Thank you all.